Hello CAD cammers. For today's drawing and modeling, we are going to be creating a baby Groot. This was voted on and was one of the tops for a freshman exploratory section. So to do this, we are going to model out a few different parts. We're going to do the potted version of the baby Groot. So we got the pot here, we got his trunk, his head, his eye, and a leaf. So once we model out these parts, again, they don't have to be connecting, but they are, in this case, for some references. And you can just go into your parts and expose and hide and make them visible. So once we do that, once we create all the parts, we're going to go over into assembly and make an assembly of our baby Groot. So notice I put some of the leaves in the top to give him a hairdo, and I also put in the leaves for his fingers. Just because we're trying to make a somewhat easy 3D modeling experience because all of you have just started using this, and then so shaded without edges is kind of something I like to show when we're making a character, because it gets rid of those hard lines. So if you do shaded and with the edges showing, we have all those hard lines in there. To get rid of those hard lines, you just go in here and shaded without edges, and it kind of smooths things out for you. So let's get into it. The first thing you're going to want to do is go into Onshape, go into your account, and you are going to click on Create and click into Document, and then name your document. Should be Baby Groot. I'm going to do Baby Groot 2 because I've already made one. And then it will bring you into a document. So notice down here I have my part studio, I have my assembly. I can click into either of these and they'll open up. So the first thing we're going to create is the pot. So Baby Groot's pot, where he sits. And I'm going to click into Sketch. I'm going to click on, the first thing you have to do is click on a sketch plane. And I'm going to click on the sketch plane front. I can do that here, or I can actually come over and click into the planes here. So if I click front, it opens a sketch in the front. So I want to be normal to this plane. So I'm going to click the hotkey N, or I'm just going to come over here and click on the cube front. So now I'm normal to the plane. I can begin my sketching, and I can drag this around and move it wherever I need to move it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're actually going to use the revolve feature, and that's going to take a drawing and then revolve it around an origin. So the first thing I want to do is create a line, and it's going to be a construction line. And once there's a square, a yellow square around that bullseye, I'm going to click, and that means that it's directly in my origin. And then I'm just going to bring it up. Doesn't matter, about 2.2. That's about good enough. Hit escape. And now from here, I am going to create the outside perimeter of the pot. So click on line, and then again from the origin with that square, that yellow square, I'm going to click there, and I'm going to move it down a little bit. or actually I'm going to move it to the left a little bit. And if I ever make a mistake, so if you make a mistake and you move down by accident and you didn't want to do that, hit escape, the top left key on your keyboard, escape, that gets you out of the function. And then you can either hit Control Z, you can hit this back or undo, or you can just click on the line and hit delete, and it will get rid of that line for you. So I'm going to go back into line either by clicking this or the hotkey L. Click on the bullseye again. I'm going to bring this out a little ways here, about there. I'm going to bring this out a little ways here. And that's about good there. I'm going to bring this out a little ways, maybe a quarter, so 0.25-ish. I'll do 0.275, and then I'm going to bring this down, and it's going to be, it'll be almost parallel, unless, so it's snapping to parallel right now, so that works. And then bring it over, and then once that bullseye lights up yellow, that's when I can stop, click it again, and then go back up to the bullseye. So I'm finishing the sketch, so I can double click on the bullseye and it finishes the sketch for me. So now I'm going to take this shape and revolve it around this axis. So click on revolve. Notice that we are creating a new 3D render, 3D part. Faces, this is already in here, and it is, we don't need to click in there, and if you do accidentally, notice it asks us faces and sketches, regions to revolve. We want this to be revolved. Where do we want it to revolve around? We want it to revolve around this axis. And then check it off. And we have our first part of Baby Groot, and it is the pot. So if you want to change the color, we're going to go down to part 1, right click on it, go into edit appearance, and we can make it blue, we can make it a more of a gray, make it a baby blue. I'm going to do the baby blue. That looks good. Check it off. And it looks pretty gray actually, so that's fine. And then right click into part 1, and you are going to rename it pot. And that's just to keep things clear and in order when you're making multiple parts. So now we have our pot. From here, we are going to create Baby Groot's torso, or the trunk. So from here, I'm going to create another sketch, and this sketch is also going to be on the front plane. And to get normal to that plane, I'm going to hit the hotkey N. Now I'm right in front. And with the trunk, it's going to be more, it's not going to be a straight line. It's going to have some curves to it. So I'm going to click on spline, and starting from the origin, click on the origin. I'm going to click on points. Now these points are like inflection points. These are where the line will curve around. So I'm going to click on a few different areas to curve Baby Groot up. And to get up, if you're having this trouble here and you're not really able to get up, just click on front, and it'll give you some extra room. So I'm going to click on front, and it gives you some extra room there, and then we'll bring it up to the top like that. And then once we have kind of the line that we want for the trunk, hit escape, and now you can kind of play around with these points. So click out of the spline function. So you're going to just go over to click in and out of things, you just literally go over to the button and click them. Or if you know the hotkey, you'll type in the hotkey. To get out of them, you can hit escape. Escape stops the function, but it doesn't stop escape stops what you're doing, but it doesn't stop the function. If you click on the function itself, it then stops. Notice now I only have my mouse. Now I can go around and kind of play around with the curves of this to make a nice shape. And once I have the shape that I want, I am going to check it off. So now this is a guideline. This is going to be used as a guideline for the trunk to actually appear. So now we have to go and look from the top. And what we're going to do is create a circle that's going to follow this line and make a 3D render, and we call that a sweep. So notice that little curvy wormy looking thing, that's a sweep, and we are going to create that sweep here. So go into sketch, click on top, and then get normal to that top, and we are going to create a circle. And we're going to go into the origin, and then we are going to, I would say we can change this, but let's do about 0.8, and we'll see how that looks. So once we created that circle at the origin on the top plane, we're going to check it off. We now have two sketches, and we can use the sweep. So we're going to click on sweep, and we're going to click on faces, sketch, region to sweep. That's going to be our circle. So this sketch here, we're going to click on that sketch there. The sweep path is going to be this line, and we make sure that you are creating a new part. So this is going to become new, and check it off. So now we have a new part. So when we're assembling these things, they are going to be separate, and we're going to assemble them into one another. So now that we have Baby Groot's torso, we're going to name it. So we're going to click on part 2. We're going to rename to trunk or torso. We're going to right click and edit appearance, and we'll make it brown. So that's Baby Groot's torso. It's kind of skinny. If it's too skinny and you want to change it, you can go into this sketch, dimension this. So hit this here, or the hotkey D. Click on your circle and dimension it to 0.9. Maybe that'll work better for you. If you like that thickness a little bit better, you can manipulate that again, going in, double click, make it a 1. See how that looks, and that looks pretty good for me. I'm satisfied with that. So I have my pot and I have my torso. I need to make Baby Groot's arms. So to do that, we are going to create another sketch, and this one is going to be on the front plane again, and this time it's going to be a construction line, so hit the hotkey L, Q, so now these two toggles are on, and a construction line is just a dotted line. So we're going to go from the origin up to, and make sure that it's a straight vertical line. So notice how if you go out to the right or to the left, and then you come to the center, it kind of locks in. That's what we want. We want that vertical line. And we're going to come up to about here, hit escape, and this will be Baby Groot's first arm. And I'm going to bring the arm out to the left here a little bit. Click there, hit escape, and then for his other arm, I am going to make it a little bit lower and go out this way with it. And that looks fine to me. Hit escape, check it off. Now we have the frame for his arms. So now we're going to do the same thing we did for his trunk. We're going to create a sweep, but we need something to sweep around these lines. So we're going to create a circle. So click on sketch, and then this time we're going to click on the right plane. So you can either click here, or you can arrow key over to the right plane, which is here, and click there. So now we have to create two circles. So we're going to start with one circle here, and that looks good. Oops, about a 0.5, I think it was. 0.524. That looks pretty good. I'm going to check it off. And now we are going to make Baby Groot's first arm. So click on sweep. Click on that circle, which is sketch 5. And then the sweep path, which is here. And for this one, we are indeed adding on. So we are adding on to the trunk, to the torso, so it'll have the same color, and check it off. And that's our first sweep. So that's his first arm. And again, you can go in to this sketch. So double click on sketch 4. If you want this longer, if you want him to have a longer arm, stretch it out, change the angle a little bit. That's fine. Go in there and do that. Click and drag. And then it'll be longer. So the next step is we are going to, first of all, we're going to make this sketch visible again. And we're going to create another circle. So we're going to create another circle on the right plane again. So create sketch. Go to arrow key over to the right. Click on there. And now we are going to click on the circle. Make another arm. About 0.5. Can be a little smaller. It doesn't matter. Check it off. Now we are going to sweep again. So sweep, and we are adding. We're not creating a new thing. So we are adding, and the face is going to be the sketch of the circle, and the sweep is going to be that line there. Check it off. And he has two arms. One's a little bit smaller than the other, but that's fine. Trees grow differently, and I'm assuming Baby Groot does also. Okay, so now that we have the pot, we have the trunk. We are going to create a leaf. So the leaf is going to be a fill-in, so it's going to be his hands, and then it's going to fill in his head a little bit. So again, we're going to just create a sketch. The front plane is fine, and this is going to be a new thing. We're not going to attach to any of this, so we're just going to go off into space over here a little bit and create a leaf. So if we do, it's going to be maybe like a heart-shaped leaf. So I'm going to just come around like so. And again, play with it until you get what you want. Oops. And if you do something like that, then I'm just going to hit escape and Control Z to get rid of that. And now that I have half of the leaf, I'm going to mirror this side. So to mirror it, I'm just going to connect the two endpoints with a line, and then click on mirror. Select mirror line. I'm going to select that line, and then I'm going to select the spline that I made, and double click, or just click on the mirror, and that's fine. I'm going to delete that line, and it's a little big, but that's okay. I'm going to extrude this out 0.1. And this is going to be a new extrusion. Check it off. And we're going to call this leaf. And we are going to make it green. Check it off. And we're good. So it's a heart-shaped leaf. Looks good to me. That'll come in the assembly. Now we're going to do his head, which is trickiest part. So if you guys want to pause, take a break, and maybe get some water, get a snack or something before you continue, by all means. So if you paused, welcome back. We are going to start Baby Groot's head. So the first thing we want to do is create the shape of his head. So if we go in and look, Baby Groot images. So there's a lot of real cute images of Baby Groot. I'm going to use sort of like this style, this sort of shape to him, and create this sort of like crown that he has going on. And I'm going to revolve that. And these actually can be 3D printed and would be really cool. I might actually do that, 3D print them, and notice that this is used for plantings or pencils. It's pretty neat idea. And it would be a cool thing to 3D print for sure. So I'm going to use this style of his head, kind of like an egg shape with the cracked crown on the top, which is kind of like how I got going on here. So so to do that, I am going to click on Sketch, and my sketch plane is going to be the front plane again. But now I am going to go up here just so that I have an idea of the proportions and the sizes. Because again, we're not going crazy with dimensioning here. We're just kind of creating some fun stuff. So now we're going to go into spline, and from about here, again, I don't have to. It's not going to be included in this because these are going to be all separate parts, like the leaf separate, the trunk separate, the pot separate. His head's going to be separate. His eyes are going to be separate. So it doesn't matter where I actually create him. So I'm going to create him up above here a little bit, so we'll have an idea on space. And again, I'm just going to make that curve come up about there. That looks pretty good to start kind of coming back down into the crown sort of portion of his head. Coming down, going back up, coming down. Now, once I get to about here, I'm going to escape out and draw a line. So escape out, draw a line from the original vertically up. So I want it vertically up, and hit escape. So if you have overlapping lines like this, that is fine. I'm going to get rid of those. So click on M for trim, or click on this scissor, and I'm going to click on this extra that I do not want, and I'm good. These points don't matter, so don't worry about that. Now that I have about the shape that I want, I am going to use the revolve function and make sure that you're creating a new part. So new. The face of the sketch is already selected, so I have to click on revolve axis, click on that right there, and check it off. So again, this isn't exactly what we want right now, right? And that's fine. It actually looks really cool, and it looks like it could be like a tulip or something, or like a drop splashing into a teacup. But that is okay. That's not that's not the final product. So from here, we are going to make some more cuts. So the first thing I want to do is chisel out his head. So I'm going to click on sketch. I'm going to click on, now I don't have to go all the way down here to click on front plane. I can actually do that up here and click on front plane. And now I'm going to start sketching out what I'm going to cut away. And I'm going to use my spline function, and I'm going to, maybe this time I'm going to start down here. And remember, this is what I'm going to be cutting away. Creating that crown that I'm going to be cutting away from our baby Groot. And then once I need to bring it all the way up here, hit escape, and I need to box this in. So click on line, click on out here, and now I can actually use this shape and cut away from the baby Groot's head. So now I'm going to click on extrude, and this time we're going to be removing, and we're going to go click into blind and click into through all, second end position, blind, through all, and click on merge with all, check it off, and now I'm starting to see baby Groot a little bit more. And if you like it like this, by all means, keep them like this. If you like kind of like the rough edge of his head like this, you can keep it like this. I'm going to make a second cut, and that's going to come in from the side. But if you like it like this, keep it and skip ahead. So, but what I'm going to do is create another cut on the left side. So again, I'm going to create another sketch. go up here to right, and then I want to be normal to the right plane. And I'm going to come down and do the same thing. I'm going to make some cuts here. Bring it up. Now click on line, go from here to here, extrude, remove, through all, second end position, through all, merge with all, check it off. All right. Now Baby Groot's got some cool hair. Nice. So now we're going to look in the front. So the front of Baby Groot, and he's coming along. So I'm going to name this part. So right click on part 4, rename Baby Groot. Oops. How about head? That's better. And right click on head, and I'm going to edit the appearance, and I'm going to make this head maybe a lighter brown. That could be cool. Or I could do the same color as the trunk, but I kind of like a lighter brown. That'll add a little bit to it. And now I gotta make his eyes. So I'm almost done here. I got 4 parts, and now I'm just gonna make his eyes. So sketch. I'm gonna click on front plane, and I'm gonna make his eyes by creating an oval. So click on this downward arrow next to your circle, click on ellipse, and I'm going to just do it out here. And first I gotta create the size, the horizontal size, and now I'm going to create the vertical size. And he has kind of big cute eyes, so we'll do that. And now I'm going to draw a line, so click on L, the hotkey, through the middle, hit escape, hit trim, click on one of the sides, click on revolve, click on the revolve axis, which is going to be this, click on and make sure that the face of your oval is checked, check mark, awesome. Right click on part 5, rename to eye. Right click again, edit appearance to black, check it off, and we're looking pretty good here. We got all our parts to the puzzle, and we are going to go into assembly and start making our puzzle. So click into assembly. Once you're here, click on insert, click on pot, and we'll start with his pot, and zoom out a little bit. Click on trunk, bring out the trunk, click on his head, bring out his head, click on the eye. We need 2 of those, so click on another eye, and then click on leaf and another leaf for his hands. And we can also add in some leaves up top. We'll do that after. Now we're going to start putting the puzzle together. So how I like to do this, and again, I'm not going to go into, so these are mating features. These will put constraints on your parts. So if you want to have this part all fastened together, you can actually do that with these mates using the fasten mate. But for beginner purposes and time constraints, we're gonna put it together like a moving puzzle. So to do that, I'm just gonna click and drag where I want the trunk, and I can bring them up or down. I'm gonna leave it kind of down like that, And then we're just going to focus on one thing at a time. So the trunk is the first thing, but we're doing this in 3D, so we're not just on a drawing board, right? We have to move around. So I'm going to arrow key over to the right side. And notice that trunk is not anywhere near this pot yet. So I am going to click and drag the trunk over. So click and drag it over. And then I'm going to arrow key around again. Look at the back. It looks good from the back. Look over to the left. Looks good. So I know that my trunk is where I want it to be. Now I am going to move the head. So I'm just going to move these eyes over even further. And I'm going to click and drag the head over to the top. And that looks okay from this angle, right? But now I have to arrow key over to the right. So when you're doing this, make sure that you're locked in on a plane. So front, get the front aligned. Now click on right. Now get the right aligned. Now arrow key to the back. Make sure the back's aligned. And now it looks pretty good, right? From the front, I'm pretty good. I'm in there. I'm aligned. So now I am going to move the leaves into the right direction. So click and drag the leaf over here. Click and drag the leaf over here. And right away I can tell that's not where I need it to be. So now I'm just going to click and drag the leaf over here. Click and drag the leaf over there. Now I'm going to move to the back. And that's about where I want it to be. If I want to angle these leaves in a different direction, if I don't want them up like that, just click on the leaf. And then this little circle eye looking thing, we're going to click and drag it. And that will actually revolve the leaf around. And then let go. Click out here. And now you revolved your leaf. And I'm going to want to bring it down a little bit. And then same thing. I'll maybe move this down. Click out here. Move it down a little bit. Now I'm looking at the back. The right looks good. Front. Okay, so the front's not where I want it. I want the leaves to be overlapping. So I'm going to click on that leaf again and bring it out beyond that front branch. And I'll do the same. I'll do the same for this one. And this is actually kind of fun because it's a puzzle, right? You're just putting it together, putting the pieces together. Oh, that I just noticed his eyes. That looks weird up there. So we'll fix that soon. Now I'm going to just click and drag the leaf, move it over. And now let's look at the front and see if that's kind of how we want him set up. And yeah, he looks pretty neat. So far, so good. Now I'm going to bring my eyes into the equation. And notice the eyes are within his head right now. I don't want that, so I'm going to just keep them outside here for now until I move them in another plane. So click, move them out here for now. And now I'm going to go over to my left, and I'm going to bring it out to about there. Go around to the right, bring it to the same area. And now I'm going to look at the back. Notice that they're way out. That's fine. Go to the front. Now I can actually put them where they belong. So that looks pretty neat. Baby Groot, He doesn't have a smile though, so we are missing the smile. Um, I'll leave it up to you if you wanna come and do the smile. I'm gonna do that now. But I think he looks kind of cool without just like with a stern look on him right now. But I am gonna put the smile in, so if you want to do that, follow along. I'm gonna go into Part Studio again, and this time I am gonna put the smile right here on on his um, on his face. So I'm going to create a sketch, and this is going to be in the front plane again, front plane, but it's going to be a spline, and it's going to be starting here in the middle, and I'm just going to create a little happy face for my Groot. And I'm going to extrude, and I'm going to remove, and I'm going to say through all, but I need to make sure that I'm going in the right direction, which is the front. So through all, change that direction, and notice how he has a smile now. And I'm going to go back to the assembly, and there you go. He's got his smile, and he's ready to go. Save the galaxy. So, good luck with everything, and yeah, have fun with it. And you can change up the colors, do whatever you want. This would be a really cool 3D print, and I definitely think I will be in the future. All right, good luck.